It is now my pleasure to introduce Eugene Robinson, the new chair of the Pulitzer Prize Board. What you saw of Gene in the video is what you get: warmth, intellect, humility, wry good humor, and wisdom. It's hard to see Gene as anything less than a Renaissance man. He covered Patty Hearst. He covered Washington City Hall. He worked on the Post's city desk. He served as its South America correspondent and its London bureau chief. He oversaw its lively and popular style section. He has written 3 books, including one on Cuba, in which he asserted the music of Cuba is the real news. In 2005, he became a syndicated columnist, and he is a regular political commentator on television. When he sleeps, I can't tell you, but as Sig Gisler used to advise his journalism students, you can sleep when you're dead. Along the way, Gene has won many awards, including a Nieman Fellowship at Harvard. He is a member of the National Association of Black Journalists Hall of Fame, and in 2009, he was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in Commentary for his columns on the rise of Barack Obama. All voting members of the Pulitzer Prize Board must judge fiction, nonfiction, music, drama, history, biography, and poetry, in addition to the 14 journalism categories. Every board member loses some and wins some. The main thing is to make your case. When Mr. Robinson speaks, everyone listens. Please welcome Gene Robinson.
Thank you, Mike, and good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations to all the winners. Recently, I heard one of President Trump's close advisors use a phrase that was coined by John Maynard Keynes, the British economist, which in and of itself is kind of odd, actually. But this advisor told me that what the administration hoped to do with the economy was to rouse the animal spirits of the economy and thus sort of generate momentum. So I think the jury is out on that, but I believe it's safe to say that the animal spirits of American journalism are fully awake. I mean, last week was simply breathtaking. Blockbuster revelations came so fast that it was hard to keep up or even keep track. It was only 7 days ago that we learned the president had released or revealed highly classified information in his meeting with Russian diplomats in the Oval Office. That was just 7 days ago, courtesy of a story in the Washington Post. And what does it feel like? I mean, it feels like 7 weeks, 7 months, not just 7 days. It was only 6 days ago that we learned that FBI Director James Comey kept a detailed record of his meetings with President Trump, and that the president had asked him to drop the investigation into Michael Flynn and his Russia ties. And we learned that, of course, thanks to a story in the New York Times. And that's just how it was all week, thanks to many of the people in this room. It was scoop after scoop, and not just in the Post and the Times, but in the Wall Street Journal, and McClatchy newspapers, and Reuters. It was a barrage that could only culminate on Friday with 2 more eye-opening stories. One, that an advisor close to the president is a person of interest in the Russian investigation, and the other, that the president told those Russian diplomats to whom he revealed the secret information that Comey was a nut job, the FBI director, and that firing him had relieved the president of a lot of pressure. So after that week, there is no need for me to spend a whole lot of time up here preaching to the choir about the vital role that journalism plays in a democracy. One of the axioms of good writing is that one should show, not tell, And so journalism is spectacularly showing. It's showing its worth. Today is not a moment to bemoan our business models or to worry about our popularity. You know, do they still like us out there? This is a moment to celebrate the finest journalism of 2016, along with the finest work in arts and letters, and then to get back to work. I was doing morning television on Friday, way too early in the morning, and among the other guests on set with me were Bob Woodward, who obviously needs no introduction, and Michael Schmidt, the young New York Times reporter who, to the great annoyance of the competition, keeps breaking five-alarm Jim Comey stories just about every day. And so down at the other end of the horseshoe-shaped set, Woodward and Schmidt were sitting side by side, and during commercial breaks, they were chatting. And Woodward was sort of passing along tips and advice. He didn't pass along any information about any actual stories because Woodward never does that. He just sort of sucks that out of you somehow. I've never quite figured out this sort of vampire method he has. But he did give some advice, some of the things he had learned from his decades on the front lines. And I was just looking at this, Woodward and Schmidt, and just thinking of the continuum, thinking of what journalism has been, what journalism is, what journalism must be. And I have to say, I was kind of moved. Now, maybe it was just because it was 6:30 in the morning and I hadn't slept very much, but I found it a very moving sight, actually. One of the things that I heard Bob telling Michael was something that Bob had learned from the late Ben Bradley. No gloating. When you get a good story, no gloating. Also, no backing down. No being intimidated out of doing our job, ever. But no gloating over a good story that reveals what powerful people want to hide. Ben always said that you get it first, and you get it right, and then you go back to work, because there's always another story that needs to be told. Thank you again, and congratulations once again to the winners of the 2016-17 Pulitzer Prize. Thank you.